People usually think of brave heroes swinging from ropes and brandishing swords when they think of pirates. But forget about those movie scenes. The real world is much more exciting and dangerous. It appears that real pirates are attacking the US Navy. An odd attack on American warship has left many people wondering what they're trying to hide. How does the US Navy fight piracy? Who are the real pirates of today? Let's talk about the history of pirates. Pirates are real, and they're still a threat today. During the golden age of piracy, from the 16th to the 17th centuries, many poor Europeans became pirates to get away from poverty. One scary punishment for pirates was marooning, which meant leaving somebody on an island by themselves with only food, water, and a loaded gun. Reportedly, piracy has grown by 75% in the last 10 years. Today, pirates don't use swords, but guns and rocket launchers. Pirates use fast boats, fake distress signals, and other tricks to get close to big ships. Once they're on board, they demand ransom money, which can be in the millions of dollars. Fighting against piracy is hard, but there are Navy patrols and security on board, but most sailors make it safely to the end of their trip. Fighting piracy. Because pirates are such a big threat to maritime trade and the safety of sailors, the US Navy has come up with several different ways to fight this age-old problem. Most Somali pirates are desperate and will take over ships if they're paid huge amounts of money. But what happens when these pirates on the water with old AK-47s and shaky boats aim for a US Navy submarine? Will it be like a Hollywood movie, or will it be something else? Let's take a quick look at where the pirates are from before we talk about the fight between Somali pirates and subs. When Somalia fell in 1991, there was no longer any security along the coast. As a result, foreign fishing boats cleared out the water, leaving people living along the coast without food. As crime became the main way people in the area made money, they turned the defense of their waters into dangerous attacks. Simple boats turned into fast ships with guns and GPS, and ransoms went from a few $1,000s to millions of dollars. When the Navy faces these kinds of dangers, one of the main things it does is use non-lethal deterrents. Of this, the water cannon is a common non-lethal weapon used in the maritime industry as an effective anti-piracy measure. This device shoots a strong impenetrable stream of water that pirates can't get through, discouraging them from trying to board merchant ships. A water cannon can also quickly fill pirate boats with water, making it impossible for them to move or turn. U.S. military ships also use enhanced ship hardening as an important strategy, and commercial ships have physical features that make it harder for pirates to get on board. Razor wire fences that are hard to climb make it much harder for pirates to get on ships and steal their valuable goods when they're blocked off by strong walls and reinforced doors. The U.S. Navy actively promotes best management practices, or BMP, in the shipping industry. These practices include keeping high-speed transit running, holding anti-piracy drills, having lookouts stationed, and having citadel plans in place. By following these industry-approved guidelines, ships improve their readiness and response capabilities, making them less vulnerable to almost all pirate attacks. Another important thing to keep in mind is that aerial surveillance is a key part of the U.S. Navy's tactics against pirates. Helicopters and unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, are used for wide-area surveillance. These planes watch over large areas, look for suspicious activity, and send real-time data to naval ships and maritime officials. Aerial surveillance helps to be more aware of what's going on, which lets them respond quickly to piracy events and make sure that naval assets are used effectively. Sharing information with others is also an important part of the U.S. Navy's fight against pirates. The Navy takes part in sharing information programs like the Maritime Security Center Horn of Africa and the Foreign Maritime Bureau's Piracy Reporting Center, also known as the IMB-PRC. They do this by giving foreign partners intelligence incident reports and piracy trends. The Navy helps understand all aspects of piracy and makes it easier for everybody to work together to stop it. They're essentially letting everybody know ahead of time what they can expect. Capacity building and rating are also very important to the U.S. Navy. Through training classes, joint exercises, and giving out tools and equipment, the Navy helps other regional fleets and coast guards do their jobs better. In the end, this collaborative approach makes regional forces stronger, giving them the tools they need to fight piracy in their own waters and making the seas safer. In addition, the Navy actively works to raise public awareness about piracy and teach sailors about best practices through websites, publications, and outreach programs as well. They share information with the marine community so that mariners can protect themselves from pirate attacks and lower the risk of being attacked. All of these methods and strategies work together to give the U.S. Navy a complete and flexible way to fight piracy. Working together with other countries to fight piracy, notable groups have formed, such as the International Maritime Bureau or the IMB. The IMB's main job is to keep an eye on and record piracy events around the world, giving governments and authorities incredibly useful information. The United Nations has also taken action by creating the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas, which sets up a complete set of laws to deal with piracy. The UNCLOS requires countries to work together to catch and prosecute pirates, no matter what country they're from or where they're doing their illegal actions. This is Combined Task Force 150's responsibility. Before you start to wonder what Combined Task Force 150 is, as a part of the Joint Maritime Forces, the CTF 150 is a multinational naval task force that does its job. To put it simply, its main job is to make the Gulf of Aden, the Arabian Sea, and the Indian Ocean safer and more stable. CTF 150's main goals are to fight terrorism, stop illegal activities like piracy and smuggling, and promote a safe and secure maritime environment. The task force is made up of members from different countries who take part on a rotating basis. These countries send warships, planes, and people to patrol, observe, and stop illegal activities in the task force's designated area of responsibility. The TF-150 usually has ships and planes from several countries, which encourages international cooperation and teamwork. As you can see, the fight against piracy is a group effort, and the U.S. Navy plays a big part in it. However, not all interactions with pirates have gone smoothly, despite all of their best efforts. The USS Cape St. George, also known as the CG-71, and the USS Gonzales, also known as the DG-66, both of the Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruisers, ran into pirates on March 18, 2006. They were both on an important mission as part of Task Force 150 to stand as a strong deterrent against the evil of piracy. The U.S. Navy was in a thrilling battle off the coast of Somalia with a brazen group of pirates. As the two warships patrolled the vast ocean, their senses were sharpened, and a scary sight appeared on the horizon. A ship pulling a fleet of menacing skiffs approached with bad intentions. The captains of the destroyers sensed danger and were expecting a boarding party. In a shocking turn of events, the pirates were given more confidence and were armed to the teeth with rocket-propelled grenade launchers. The pirates opened fire on the USS Cape St. George, doing some minor damage. The peace of the moment was broken, and chaos broke out quickly. The Cape St. George and Gonzales fired a barrage of small arms in response, fueling their steely resolve. The sound of gunfire and crackling flames filled the air as the main pirate ship caught fire and sank beneath the rough waves with a loud crash. Two smaller skiffs were captured, and 12 pirates were taken prisoner. The body of a dead pirate was also found. Interestingly, a Somali pirate group later said that 27 of their Coast Guardsmen had been sent into this disastrous battle in the valley. The pirates who survived this almost disastrous mistake in their victim selection process were then taken prisoner. Their fate is unknown. The shocking thing is that pirates are always changing their strategies. They use different methods to be as successful as possible and avoid being caught. One new strategy they're using is motherships to reach more ships. But that's not all. They also take over fishing boats for piracy operations, taking advantage of the fact that international seas make it hard to tell who has authority, and they hack into shipping company systems to get information or stop operations. While naval operations have been the main way to fight piracy in the Gulf of Aden and the Arabian Sea, most people agree that more efforts are needed to eliminate the threat fully. The area that Somali pirates operate in is larger than what naval vessels can effectively patrol. With 25 naval vessels covering over 1.1 million square nautical miles, each ship is responsible for patrolling an average of 44,000 square nautical miles. When naval forces are present, pirates often move their operations to waters that aren't being watched. They do this because they know these limitations. A number of additional anti-piracy plans have been put forward, such as using uncrewed flying vehicles to keep a closer eye on things. They're tracking and analyzing money to stop pirates from funding their activities, and going to court and punishing pirates who've been found guilty as a deterrent. The U.S. Navy also uses unmanned aerial vehicles that can fly themselves along pre-programmed routes and complete jobs without any help from a person. As was already said, this lowers the risk to human people. UAVs work in dangerous places, giving operators a safe distance from possible pirate meetings and lowering the risk of harm of hostage situations with a variety of sensors, cameras, and surveillance tools that let them get pictures and information in real time. The information gathered can be sent back to a control center so that it can be analyzed and decisions can be made. The U.S. Navy uses advanced sonar systems to keep an eye on and find threats underwater. These systems can detect threats, such as pirate divers or underwater vehicles. On top of that, the U.S. Navy uses power projection to fight piracy by staying visible in areas where piracy is likely to happen. Potential pirates are scared off by the Navy. Using warships, planes, and other resources shows that the Navy is ready to react quickly and decisively to pirate threats, which makes pirate activities less appealing by making them seem dangerous. This proactive approach helps stop attacks before they happen and lowers the total number of piracy incidents. Power projection also lets the U.S. Navy respond quickly to piracy events. Strategically placed naval assets can quickly stop and disrupt pirate activities, giving vital support to ships that are at risk. Pirate networks are broken up, and people involved are brought to justice through maritime interception operations, such as boarding and arresting suspicious ships. The Navy's air assets, like carrier-based and maritime patrol aircraft, also give the Navy air superiority by conducting surveillance and reconnaissance tasks. The U.S. Navy's aerial coverage improves situational awareness and helps find pirate activities early for quick and effective reactions. There's also a strong link between piracy and environmental problems, especially when it comes to maritime operations and how they affect ecosystems. Pirates often use destructive and unsustainable fishing methods that kill off entire fish populations. Pirate ships also pollute the ocean with oil spills and chemical releases that hurt maritime life and their homes. When pirates anchor in fragile ecosystems like coral reefs, they destroy these ecosystems that help perfect maritime biodiversity and coastal resilience. However, the U.S. Navy is working hard to lessen the damage that pirates do to the environment through its maritime security operations. In addition to going after pirates at sea, Navy patrols try to stop illegal activities that damage marine habitats and pollute the ocean. By keeping coastlines and major shipping lanes safe, the Navy helps support long-term fishing, shipping, and offshore resource extraction, which are all industries that depend on healthy oceans. By keeping pirates out of maritime ecosystems, the Navy protects biodiversity. Coastal stability and long-term blue ecosystem services help everybody in the world and not just the United States. The Navy's role in ocean governance goes above and beyond what many other countries are willing to do. In conclusion, in its unwavering dedication to protecting the safety and security of the seas, the United States Navy continues to fight piracy through strong actions and involvement in multinational operations like Combined Task Force 150. The Navy is important for stopping and fighting pirate actions in areas that are easy for them to get to, like the Gulf of Aden and other major shipping lanes. They show how dedicated they are by sending ships like the USS Howard and others to watch over and protect captured ships like the MV Faina, by keeping a watchful eye on them and working with international partners. Whether stopping pirates in their tracks or patrolling coastal waters, it's clear that the U.S. Navy is committed to protecting global maritime trade, keeping seafarers safe, and upholding the principles of maritime security. Not all ships are created equal, as the U.S. Navy has shown time and time again as it ratchets up efforts to stop these Somali pirates in their tracks. And while piracy is on the rise, so too are Task Force 150 members, always ready and eager to put a stop to these seafaring criminals. We've the utmost respect and admiration for the brave people who serve in the U.S. Navy and fight against the evil forces of piracy. Their unwavering dedication and bravery in the face of danger deserve our highest salute. These brave men and women risk their lives to protect the seas, keep global trade safe, and make sure that seafarers remain safe. Their never-ending work in the ongoing battle against pirates shows how dedicated they are and what they stand for, and we're deeply grateful to these brave people. This brings us to the end of our video. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel with the bell notification on, so you never miss another video from us. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue to make the content that we're delivering to you every single week. So until next time, thanks for watching and take care.